Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
I am the president.
Amid the upcoming presidential battle against Sleepy Joe and Donald Trump, Mark Cuban is quietly pulling the strings behind the stage. He stunned the sports world by selling a majority stake in his cash cow Dallas Mavericks for a whopping $3.5 billion. Surprisingly, this move came just one day after Cuban confirmed his departure from ABC's reality show Shark Tank after the upcoming 16th season.
According to reports, the multi-billionaire celebrity Mark Cuban is set to sell a majority stake of the Dallas Mavericks. Also recently announced that season 16 will be his last on Shark Tank. Sports Illustrated has this headline out today asking if a presidential run is next.
Is Mark Cuban taking his first step into the presidential battleground? Let's uncover the truth. From his early years to transforming into a money-making dynamo, and with his plans to change the American economy and political culture. We've got it all covered. Stay connected with us until the end of this video. Mark Cuban was born in 1958 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and grew up in a suburb called Mount Lebanon. Right from the start, he was a moneymaker by selling things like trash bags, newspapers, and postage stamps. He even started his own stamp company with just a quarter and turned it into $50 when he was just 16 years old.
I started a stamp company. I started with a quarter and bought a stamp and left with $50.
His ability to make money grew at Indiana University with the tireless business major. As the next step of his early life of entrepreneurship, he decided to run a bar if he could come up with $15,000 and ended up getting a loan from a friend who was playing on the school rugby club with him.
Loaning Mark $15,000 so he could buy a bar in Bloomington.
Within months after getting the loan from his friend, he opened his bar called Motley's. Since Cuban opened his bar before he was even of legal drinking age, it was cited for having underage patrons and got shut down. Having owned a bar even before reaching the legal drinking age, Mark Cuban possesses a unique skill set in handling both people and money. Would this experience be a valuable asset if he ran for the 2024 presidential battle? Let's dig further into that with his journey to becoming a billionaire. After landing in Dallas, within a year, the born entrepreneur launched Micro Solutions, providing software, hardware, and training to businesses at the dawn of the PC revolution. Mark Cuban learned the computer business fast, and in 7 years, sold his company to CompuServe for $6 million.
I had one mission in mind. I wanted to be able to go to as many countries around the world as I could and get drunk with as many people as I possibly could, and I was so good at it.
Then, in 1995, Mark Cuban came out to reinvent radio with a concept brought to him by a college friend, Todd Wagner.
I've got this idea where I think we can listen to Indiana basketball, sporting events, anywhere in the world by using the internet.
With experimenting on this new business opportunity with his friend Todd, Cuban co-founded AudioNet, which became Broadcast.com in 1998, and 2 years later, it was acquired by Yahoo for $5.7 billion, making Cuban a billionaire at age 40. In January 2000, sports fanatic Mark Cuban bought majority ownership in the Dallas Mavericks. It was the crowning purchase for the billionaire with the insatiable desire to win, except that the franchise had one of the worst win-loss records of any team in the NBA. The team hadn't had a winning season in 10 years. Then Cuban changed everything with his buttoned-up CEO of the Dallas Mavericks and made it one of the best-performing NBA teams, which pumped him millions of dollars. For the presidential battle, wealth is a game-changer. Former President Trump was a billionaire, but he was born into his father's wealth. Even though Mark Cuban is a self-made billionaire, does he have the political expertise to run for the next presidential election? It's time to take a look at his political history. Politics would certainly be a new venture for Cuban to seriously enter, but it is a topic he has shown interest in over the past few decades. In 2015, he suggested he might want to become Speaker of the House, and even hinted at becoming a possible running mate for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump's 2016 presidential runs. Then in the 2016 presidential battle, he stand for Hillary Clinton, giving his support.
I'm ready to vote for the American dream. I'm ready to tell the world that I am here to endorse Hillary Clinton.
Later, Cuban revealed in a CNN interview that he seriously considered running for president in the 2020 race. but his family voted it down.
What did your wife say? She asked me if I want to stay married.
Cuban has criticized the two-party political system in the U.S., calling it so messed up at an Axios event in 2022. He added that the system encourages candidates to appeal to the extreme views of voters on each side. Though he formerly had a friendly rapport with Trump before winning the 2016 election, he's since become an outspoken critic of the former president's leadership.
At the beginning, he was a business person, and I wanted to see a change from the traditional politician, but then he went and opened his mouth. I mean, he had a really good chance to be different and really have a chance to change things, but he doesn't do the work. He's lazy. Do you think he cares more about you or his bank account? Can you trust Donald Trump? Absolutely not.
Despite his family voting against his attempt to run for the presidential election in 2020, he is now dropping hints about entering to the presidential race in 2024. Let's find out what he is up to. His recent moves of selling the majority stake of Dallas Mavericks for $3.5 billion and confirming the end of his era on Shark Tank just a day before Mavericks' deal is triggering confusion, because those are pretty much the two sole things that have turned him into a household name in the United States. Why does he need to pump more money? He doesn't need another private jet. He owns 2 already. He doesn't need another house. He already owns 3. What's even left out there for him to spend such an exorbitant amount of money on? Other than philanthropy, which doesn't need spending billions of dollars to make a sizable impact, remains one clear possibility.
Sports Illustrated has this headline out today asking if a presidential run is next.
Mark Cuban may be preparing for the upcoming presidential election behind the stage to enter to the battle at the last moment. And it probably won't be a fallback option to replace President Joe Biden, who's falling in national polls. Now it's time for the most exciting question. If Mark Cuban takes the wheel and becomes president, what sort of moves and shifts do you think he'd pull off for the country? Let's find out. He would reform the tax and regulation in a healthy way for entrepreneurs to grow their businesses to go public, which would lead the nation to a stronger economy.
You know, if you get rid of the enforcement side of the SEC, I think the economy would boom.
He would restructure the economy to invest in the things that make America dominant.
You know, if you look at the list of the top 50 inventions of the last 50 years, 90% of them would come from the United States of America.
Cuban has emphasized the importance of education in preparing the workforce for the future. As president, he might support educational initiatives and reforms aimed at addressing skills gaps and adapting to evolving job markets. He has expressed opinions on healthcare reform. His approach might involve finding innovative solutions to improve healthcare accessibility and affordability. Those are the major changes that Mark Cuban will do if he becomes the next president. America has already elected one billionaire reality television star to lead the nation. Will Mark Cuban become the next one? Comment out below. For more interesting videos like this, subscribe to our channel. And for more information, visit our website geeksaroundglobe.com.